This video is brought to you by Ravenscraft Realty of Northeast Missouri. All right, first off, a few housekeeping things. My viewers are awesome. I got my first piece of fan mail the other day. It was pretty cool. And second, we are looking for full-time help. If you're in the Hannibal area and you want to work on a farm, shoot me an email and see if we can figure something out. And I was at County Market in town the other day, just getting mellow yellow, and a fellow come up behind me and says, "Hey man, love the videos." That's awesome. I didn't get your name, but if you're watching, you're pretty cool. Morning, folks. Today has been a disaster so far, but look at that. The truck that those dragline guys have is sweet. Speaking of the dragline guys, there they are. I've got the skid steer behind me on the trailer, and we're going to Withers Mill. And we've been burning all these brush piles, and there's still some sticks and whatnot that are scattered throughout the field or by the brush piles that are really too small to pick up with the excavator, but too big to pick up by hand. So, therefore, we're gonna use the skid steer and the grapple. This is the big town of Withers Mill. Even has a stop sign. Justin and I just got done eating lunch, so we're gonna get back to work. I've been sifting through these old burn piles, trying to pull up any stuff that hadn't burned completely, and I found some stuff all right. That was at the very bottom of the pile, and all I had to do was bring it outside to some oxygen, and now it is burning. Here at Goldinger Farms, we love trees. It's too windy. Oh no. Okay. We got some fire and we got some special stuff known as red diesel. I'm presently on fire babysitting duty. I mean, I'm pretty sure nothing's gonna go bad, but I'd rather be here watching it and not have any bad situations come up. I've taken down quite a few trees today and stacked up a lot of things. Now we're down here in this old waterway trying to get it to drain. What Justin and I are doing now is sorting through the burn piles to find stuff that hadn't burned completely, and I'm picking out the wire and fence and whatever, and we're just gonna take all the stuff that hadn't completely burned up to the bigger brush pile that's up the hill. Well, that is wonderful. Go to open the window, smash. Darn it.
Yeah, back on the ammonia today. Day 2. Going on pretty decent, actually. It's not dry, but it's not wet. Dry enough, we'll call it. Pretty good drying kind of farm. Doesn't lay very well. Same bar we had last year, the 21 knife Dalton. This year, though, we do have the 9.510R on the toolbar. We've been running the 9.460R last couple years, but it is currently on scraper duty. Took the place of the 9.330 that we traded off there last year. Should get this farm here done tonight. Got a couple of tanks sitting here. Pretty good chance of rain tonight, so I want to get this finished up so we'll be able to move on to the next dry farm we find after it rains and dries back out.
40/20 kind of works now, but now both of the new rims are on, and I have both of the old ones and the tubes off. Let's go take it for a drive in the field. we are in the shop now, and we're gonna shut her down. Grandpa has been fixing terraces today with the 9460R and the scraper. What he's doing is taking dirt that's silted in from over here, right here, and he's moving it to the top of the terrace right there so that it doesn't wash over anymore. You can see where it's kind of rilling over the side. And just like that, he is done for the day. At least I think he is anyway. Never can tell with Grandpa. He's got to be the hardest working guy I know, because he built the whole Goldinger thing from the ground, and it's pretty impressive. Well, I went in and had supper. Thank you, Mom, for cooking. And I'm going to put this new tie rod on the 4020 because the other one is kind of, sort of, barely held on. It was held on enough to go drive it around. But John Deere actually had this on hand, and surprisingly, it was only $50. So thank you, Mother Deere, for providing me with a simple tie rod. Okay, we got that tie rod on and this new one on. And the front end is actually set correctly. The wheels are facing out just a little bit. I know it doesn't look like it. That's because it's turned just a touch this way. Next up, I'm going to take this welder here. I'm going to weld the nut onto that, and then hopefully I can back it out. I cannot believe that that actually worked. Was totally not expecting that. How about that? I feel extremely proud right now.
Yeah, start putting on some anhydrous this afternoon. Got my first, there's one tank. There's two. First two tanks of the year done. I don't know how many to go. It's a lot. Got that 510R on the Dalton toolbar again. Works pretty good.
I bought some stuff from Steiner's and showed up today. So I have a steering wheel cap, and then a console cap. And I also bought some lights, like LED lights from Larson Lights. They're sitting over there on the workbench. And I'm gonna get all that stuff wired up. Maybe not working, but at least put together tonight. This is pretty simple. You just take the cap off, set it to the side, and find an appropriately sized socket, which I believe is 15/16. Actually an 1 1/8, never mind. Next step here is pretty simple. You just take a gear puller or whatever this thing is, and you do that. Now, I tried to save the steering wheel cover, but it just was not going to cut it. So that's kind of sad. I've got the 3-point adjusting deal here mostly finished. I did have to readjust this one E-clip here, but it's factory now. This is like literally brand new. So I'm actually not going to be able to replace the side console cover because the one I got from Steiner's is like 1/4 of an inch longer and it doesn't fit. So now I'm just trying to shine the old one up a little bit with some tire cleaner or tire shine, and it actually isn't working bad. Maybe I should have just done this in the first place instead of spending $55 on that. I've been working on the lights here on the 4020, but I'm running into a small problem, which is that not all the wires have power to them in any of the positions of the switch. Like in this wiring harness right here, there's 4 wires coming out of it. Only one of them has power in any of the 3 positions on the switch. So what I'm going to do is create a super special, probably not electrically safe connector to make that one light or that one wire power both of these LED lights. I'm not too worried about this because LED lights, they don't pull a lot of power, so it should be okay. Well, I know it's okay because I've already done the same thing before. Don't tell anybody that. But I'll show you guys this super special electrical connector that I'm creating. Or maybe it's conjuring, because this is kind of scary. So since we're taking one wire and making it go to two places, I don't want to use a wire nut because the tractor vibrates a lot. Don't need that. So the wire that has power comes in here. It goes from here to the one light and then from there to the other. Now you're probably thinking, well, those aren't connected right now, but they're going to be. Now, is this electrically speaking very safe? No, probably not. But I'm making it work. I'm even using shrink wrap, so I'm being like super, super safe. This is totally not gonna not work. I know because I've already done it on that side over there. The key to this whole operation here is low voltage and low wire speed because we do not want to burn through this stuff. Go to like 15 pounds of shielding gas. That's enough for what we're doing. And I got my sunglasses on, so we are totally safe. All I'm doing here is attaching it just enough so that everything is gonna work. I'm not trying to make this a super strong structural weld. So what I'm doing is A-okay. After some very careful welding, you're left with this. This one was a botched attempt from earlier. I tried brazing it together and I melted the one side of it. Just to make this contraption a little bit more safer, I'm gonna use some shrink wrap on it. Look at that. This is a beautiful abomination. I'm going to show you guys a little side-by-side comparison here of the halogen bulbs that came standard on these versus the Larson LED lights. Now, I'm not endorsed by them or anything. I just think they have a good product. Hook the battery up real quick. We'll hop up here on the tractor and I'll show you guys the difference. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. Significantly brighter than what's on this side. Although this has a nice aesthetic, very 60s-ish. But this, I would rather work with this. Since getting into the old tractor game in early 2020, this is the third set of LED lights that I put on a tractor. First was on my 730 gas. Second was on the first 730 diesel. I didn't do lights on the other 730 because I didn't have it very long. And now this, and eventually the 4320 is gonna get something similar, and I'm gonna build a cool custom light bar out in the front like my grandpa had. I'll just use two of the LED lights and then get the old style light sockets, and it'll just look pretty sharp. Replacing one of these lights is pretty easy. You just kind of pop it out of the rubber holder and you undo the screws here. You have to cut the old ends off, these old kind of brass looking ones, and replace them with these these female spade deals. And that hooks up on the light right there. There's one for your hot wire and then one to the ground. And all these just ground back to the metal on the fender. Now that it's almost 1:20 in the morning, I should probably stop what I'm doing and go inside. I am 100% done with the lights on the 4020, except for the warning light. I'm not sure how that one's supposed to get wired up. I'm gonna have to do some looking on that. But I think tonight was a successful night since I did pretty much nothing the whole day. Beans are getting not really needed drink of water. I hope they'll be okay. I did nothing productive yesterday, but today I'm gonna do one productive thing at 5 o'clock. And I'm gonna drink this drink here from Hebrews and West Quincy. And I'm also going to take the backhoe, which is back here, up to the fairgrounds in town so that the young farmers can use it for their annual sale that's coming up. I tried to start the 4020 earlier, but you know, 404 things, hashtag plug it in. Do-do-dee-doo-dee-doo. Before we can back that out though, need to move the white service truck so we can get it out. I gotta get the boom picked up on this thing, so I have to remember which one of these does what. Okay. So that one picks it up. Now, can I figure out how to curl the bucket? Oh my gosh, first try. I know this gauge says we're full on fuel, but I'm gonna pull over to the diesel barrel and fill up just in case. Okay, we are good on fuel. So this thing just has 4 gears down here, which you select with this, and then a left-hand reverser on this side. It's pretty similar in handling characteristics to like a 7430 John Deere, but really short wheelbase and small tires makes for a very rough ride. Ride's kind of rough. Eventually I'd like to get a backhoe that is a little bit newer. This one's very early 2000s. I'd like a 510, I don't know what we're throwing now, like K or something like that, with air conditioning and a radio. Man, that would be nice. This is where I went to high school at, Palmyra High. I will have been graduated 2 years now, and time flies, it really does. Yeah, you could say I like to break the law all the time. I didn't even come to a complete stop. Well, that was a very rough and unpleasant drive, but we have finally made it here, and Dad's already here to pick me up. Dad and I are gonna pick up this one Freightliner Cascadia that we dropped off in town last video. Well, I made it home. Dad's still on his way back, but I don't think you guys have seen the puppy dog this video. Good girl. We have the dog, the Dodges, the chickens, and the cat. Tonight's Friday night, and I don't know that I have any huge, big plans, but might be a girl coming over tonight. Maybe. It's not set in stone yet. Probably not, though. Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Isn't that right, May? Oh, you look sadder than usual. Ooh. You probably just want to TREAT. And here comes Dad down the driveway. Since it's such a lovely evening, I think I'm gonna run the 4020 around a little bit. Hopefully it'll start now that it's been plugged in for 2 hours. I'm pretty sure the old girl needs injectors redone because she never starts easy unless it's been plugged in for 2 hours. Let's see what she does. What'd I tell ya? Today is Sunday, so it marks the end of spring break for Mizzou students, but I've got a few things to do before I head back to Columbia. I got to move the 4020 away from in front of the dump truck. I have to move these 2 rims and throw away the 2 tubes. If you want to buy these rims, hit me up. I can make you a deal on them. 4020 shouldn't need any extra assistance starting today since it's like 60 degrees, maybe 65. I think she needs injectors. Well, like I said before, it's Sunday. Now it's Sunday afternoon. So we're getting pretty close to the end of the video. But I'm going to see if the 730 will start up so that I can move it real quick so that Dad doesn't have to move it during the week. if it doesn't rain a bunch, which it's supposed to, which it keeps delaying our planting beginning. Totally at the mercy of the weather right now, and there is not a single thing that we can do about it. Yeah, she was being a good girl today. You started right up for me. Yeah, if this was 1970, I would really be doing something with a 40-20 power shift and the 730 and a 6-row planter. The only thing I'm missing now is a 105 square back combine with a 6-row head. I'm gonna stick the 40-20 right there and the 730 here. Actually, I'm gonna stick something's gonna go in here. Now, when you're opening one of these Morton buildings, there's a lot of going back and forth involved. But I'm really happy with these Morton buildings so far. The two buildings that we keep our equipment and tractors and semi-trucks in, so this building and that one, have been here since 2013 or 14. And the shop was put up in 2018. And then the new building, this one, we just got put up now. Or pretty recently, anyway. Yeah, the spring down here, you can kind of see it laying down there, that holds this up in this position has fell off again, so I may need to replace that. So now we're going back for the 40-20 here, and we're gonna park it on the other side of the planter, like I parked the 730. 4320, 730, 40-20. This is like where all the old guys park. Well, like I said earlier, spring break is coming to an end, and gonna go back to school for another month and a half or so. And then we're going to be doing some summer farming for the university and some study abroad action too. That's going to be a neat video. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did like it, you should subscribe, like the video, tell somebody about the channel, be it your grandma and grandpa, mom, dad, brother, sister, friends, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, you name it, anybody's fair game. And with that, I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. See you later, tractors.